Funny how the words run into themselves as though they're meant to deceive. Nothing's real, everything's a lie. The world is not as it seems. We are just an egg and we're here inside a cage, watching it bursting at the seams. The vagrant's alone, the velvet is lit. Outside there's no escape. Underneath the stars this criminal wind swims around my face. Nothing's real, everything's a lie. The world is not as it seems. We are just an egg and we're here inside a cage, watching it bursting at the seams.
Boy, what's up? It's your boy Taye, and we're back here again from the orangish couch here on St. Vincent Street, and that's a new band. We just hired them like 5 minutes ago. Like seriously,
literally find us down the street and tell us come true. This is the way it should be done.
So what's up, man, fellas? Welcome to Talking Sense with Taye, and this is a weekly spotlight of all kinds of things. But recently we've been talking about cannabis legislation in Trinidad and Tobago. And you guys, of course, introduce yourself.
My name is Michael.
And I am Peter.
Right. So Michael and Peter, they're like refugees from the show we were just up at there a little while ago at Greenyard. Tonight is the closing night of visual occupancy. Of course, make it your boy there. He was one of the featured artists there. So this was what's the name of your band?
Well, Burning Heads. The Burning Heads is the name of the band, but that's a song that you just heard is original by Peter.
Original Peter and the Burning Heads. And tonight we're going to be talking about men who want to get head by burning joints. So, it's all fit. And of course, the guest here is Rondell Daniel, aka Ramps, the man, one of the key members and one of the founding members of Cannabis and You, one of the most significant cannabis advocacy groups here in Trinidad and Tobago. So definitely a very important personality. So welcome to the show, Ronald.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
And of course, in the corner there is your boy Make It. Things can't go on unless Make It say it. All right, so make sure we have the audio coming in live and correct. It now coming in live and correct. It was before. All right, so it was a little soft. Welcome to all the viewers. We've been seeing the subscriptions creeping up, so thank you very much, everyone. I think we added like about 10 or 15 more this week. Not a million, but you know what? Everybody counts, so thank you very much. We've been seeing the content.
And we have the best subscribers in the world.
Indeed.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So if you like the show, of course, continue, subscribe, share the vibes. Excuse me. And we like to get your comments. We like to get your feedback. If it ain't working, let me know so we could improve it. Right? So we have a few things coming up. We know it's kind of homegrown, but we building. We adding value every week. And certainly the most important thing is what goes on here, what comes out of the heart, what comes out of the mouth. So certainly, fellas, talk to me about what's going on. What's you guys' vibe? All right, so just grab that mic and you grab this one.
Yeah. What's the vibe?
Well, we just like jam. We have like a big group of creatives, and we get together and feel the vibes. Really, it's
Yeah,
all.
it have a little kind of history in our name to that Burning Heads name. Could mean plenty things, but the idea is that men who wanna create anything, men, women who wanna create, have this kind of this burn, this need to kind of get what's in here and here out. So that's really what we be doing when
So
you're writing.
how long you all been putting together songs, jamming? How long you all been doing
Well, this is my blood here,
Right.
you
I've
know,
I've been in it
and
real short.
we jamming
Michael's
a long
boss.
time. Like this man pick up a guitar some years ago and make a kind of improvement to the point where I never see anybody pick up something that fast. So he started write his own stuff. I play now a long time, about 14 years. I'm just writing and playing and learning, trying to jam with more people and learn things from people and play different kind of music and try things new. Like I always want to jam with people who I never really jam with before. Funnily enough, that's how make it happen. And we meet at Green Yard a while back. I see him jam, and right away I was like, "Weird, I don't know who this man is." So yeah, that's what we looking to do. We looking to write, jam, and play and create with more people in Trinidad.
Well, I mean, like we have a couple of projects coming up that we're gonna talk about. Actually, we ain't even gonna talk about it. We just gonna be about it. So you know me. Some of you all will know me from a long time, so you know that a lot of it is stuff that I've done before that I've revisited and reinvented and put a new plot twist. So certainly, is a vibe is gonna be something that we're gonna be working on. And if you all wouldn't know, is a vibe is basically that same kind of organic vibe where you come in and you just release what you got inside of you. Open mic, you'll have a feature group, you'll have music, and most of the feature bands would jam. You know what I mean? So they'll sing their stuff, they'll perform their vibe, but then they're just like jam. So a lot of stuff came out of Is a Vibe. The last time we did Is a Vibe would have been a Shout Out Baptist weekend in what, 2006 or somewhere around there. 2000, maybe four, between 2004 and 6. It's a little bit hazy, but that would have been the last time we did it. And the fire, last year, I lost all my tapes. I lost all the recordings that we did from that show. So we had to do it over again. Sorry, take two. So look out for that. That'll be coming up most likely after Carnival, because we still have to get a few things together. But certainly the Reddish Couch, you will hear it here. So just to give you a quick snap for some of the new people, what's going on here? The Reddish Couch, we try to bring the shiny disco ball of truth, right? And if you've ever seen a disco ball, it's a lot of different little fragments of things that you'll shine a light and you'll see all kind of things shining off of it. So this one light of truth, it's not one beam. It's all kinds of different fractures and things that would come out of it. So that's what we hear about. So we started this thing talking about cannabis advocacy, but it's going to break out of that, and we're going to talk about a lot of other things. But for tonight, certainly, Rondell, Ramps, Cannabis and You. Get the people an idea of how Cannabis and You started and where it's at. Give me a snapshot.
Wow. Well, it started in Cannabis and You started in 2016. Um, I had it's funny enough, I was hearing about the NGO. I mean the AG family with this clothing line. It's funny enough, I started off a clothing line in 20 like late mid 2015, but I wanted to get into hemp, and I realized people in Trinidad didn't really know about hemp. So late 2015, I just put something on Facebook telling people we should do like an awareness drive around Carnival. And in 2016, people respond, and we do like 4 awareness drives around Trinidad for Carnival, like every weekend for Carnival, 2016. And after it was supposed to be one awareness drive, but the people that was on board, they keep talking, the ideas keep popping up, and they say, we should form an NGO. And initially, I wasn't about that. I was about my clothing line, and I kind of shy away from the idea, but I was the person that kind of initiated it. So in June 2016, we became an NGO. We continued doing what we was doing, which was going about the country, simple pamphlets, just talking to people. We engage people. We realized early on we don't pull just we give somebody a pamphlet and throw it away. So we started to engage people about cannabis. We hear the thoughts. Some people, but to our surprise, 90% was positive, and it wasn't just like stoners we was looking at. It was like old people, people with a trend. So we do that for about 3 years. We actually stopped that in 2018, and but in the process too, we end up starting to do other activities, and that's really kind of grow the organization. And through those other activities and through the awareness on the street, because we would be out there with we registered NGO. I say we came registered through the Registered General Office in 2016. So we have a membership form. We have it out there with us, but through our other activities, we create an initiative and started to do other activities. And for some reason, I don't know, I would say good grace. For the 3 years, we just was able to do a lot of different stuff with cannabis on the low, but publicly. And even our name, and even though we're not a profit organization, our name Cannabis and You. Every year when I go and do the annual fee at the pay for NGO or whatever, people just be like shocked that we have that name, Cannabis and You. So, but yeah, right now, through that work, through all that activity, all our awareness work on the ground and all that kind of thing, we grew to become the largest NGO in the country, 400 members on paper, cannabis group or NGO in Trinidad, and it's on us to really figure out what that means. You understand? We have a lot of ideas we still want to build on. I mean, that's 400 on paper, but we have we have about 600 people who support us strongly, who know on paper, who haven't signed up and that kind of thing. So it's to tap into that body politic, the other activities, if you know about K, we do like green hikes, movie nights, food events, and all around team around cannabis. But for 2020 and just where things are right now, we want to kind of go back to our foundation, which was education and awareness. Because even from 2015 to 2016, when we became incorporated and things to now, I still feel people know about cannabis, but people don't know enough about cannabis. Still need a lot of, even people who are involved with it, simple methods, techniques, in terms of cultivation and things. I mean, people know about it, but they don't know. So I think for us, we want to kind of, as much as we love the other activities, and we kind of stumble upon them as a real cool thing, concept. But as much as we love that, we want to kind of go back to our foundation, which is education, awareness, make people knowledgeable about the plant, and many uses, and yeah. So
Yeah, to make sure this mic working. It working. Good, nice. So the the point you made, the recent registration of the West Indian Cannabis Company, which is owned by a relative of the current Attorney General, Faris Alwari, that caused a lot of stir. And part of the screenshot that went around was the online listing of cannabis names of companies and registered in Trinidad with the word cannabis in it. And of course, Cannabis and You was there proudly amongst them. But certainly one of the more established and older companies with that name in their registration. So when you went to register Cannabis and You, what was the look on the face of these people? Like, you're going to do what?
I mean, initially it seemed straightforward, but we went through. I remember another major director of the organization is Javed Bash, the owner of Grass Lab. And I remember me and him saying in 2016, just brainstorming and we write like this whole book about what the organization was about and workshops and awareness. But the Registered General Office didn't really want they didn't really want all that. And I think it was probably probably a little more than that. It's probably about
search fee.
Yeah.
You get your name approval, and then you probably put about
And
700
again,
TT dollars. So in all, it's like about 800 TT, just a little over 100 US, and yeah, your business. But a couple of people were saying that they weren't allowed to register businesses with the name of cannabis in the name and with the purpose of a cannabis company. I don't know what that really means because we still don't have the legislation that really going to define what that means. So, which reaches to the point where you're talking about advocacy, you're talking about spreading the awareness and the information about use, the various uses, because it's not just about getting high. We need to get rid of that idea where weed is just about getting high. It's way past that.
Yeah.
We talked about it. You can check the previous shows where we talked with Dr. Pottinger, and he only touched a little bit on what some of the things, the medical benefits, the medicinal benefits of cannabis. But certainly you and Javed, who you mentioned, Grass Labs TT on Instagram, also on Facebook.
Yeah.
Right. So a big part of the awareness drive. What are you targeting with that? What is the information that you think people still need to get?
I mean, if you just think about the war on drugs, I mean, the idea people have about cannabis, I mean, the the symbol is scary to people, you know, and even thinking back, we had a marketing person around us when we were formulating the logo for K. And they were, because I wanted the leaves. If you look at K's logo, the leaves not serrated. You know, I wanted to do that. You know, and the person was just like, you know, we should keep it softer. So the idea about cannabis is like it's supposed to be some scary thing. You know, I just wanted serrated leaves, but I mean, the serrated leaves seem like violent. The leaves
Right.
inside seem just a softer tone to the logo itself. So
Headspace.
I think,
Heights.
yeah. So in terms of just the stigmatization again, besides that, the people who don't know about it, the people who involved with it, the consumers, they don't know enough about it and they want to know. I was talking to our brethren right around Siddiqui. He told me he went to St. Vincent to show them how to make RSO. Now, when he told me that, I was just like, why?
To make
Because
a what?
RSO, Rick Simpson oil. But if you think about it, I mean, they heard about him making it, and it's different from looking at it on YouTube than having it hands on. They changed the law and they invited him over there to come and show them how to make RSO. And he was making, he push out real RSO over in St. Vincent. So, again, that's what we want to get back. That's what we want to get into, not get back, but that's what we want to go to our foundation, which is education and awareness and showing people different aspects of the plant, of course, people who don't know about it, and people who scared about the plant, but people who in it, I want to go deeper into it. We want to get them avenues in terms of that's what we want to get into.
And St. Vincent is very important to our local industry because that's the source of one of the sources of the local cannabis product, right? So right. So you also get bucket weed. That's from Vinci. Really? Where you from? Yeah, could talk to some people. No, for real, man. I don't know what going on with you guys, but a lot of times, man. Really, really, really. Well, all right, there you go. I mean, I'm a casual observer from the outside. Full disclosure, I do not smoke.
From 2005 to 2006, bucket we started disappearing.
Really? I don't know about that because anyhow, there was an incident. Let's just put it like that, right? I don't like to call names, but there was an incident. It would have been about maybe about 2015, 16. No, it would have been about 2014, 15. There was an incident and it involved a large amount of bucket weed. So yeah, right. But anyhow, we ain't gonna talk about that. But certainly, fellas. All right. So my boy hands full over there. So as soon as you're done with that project, we will get back and we will jam a little bit and we'll get back to the conversation. But one of the things you touched on, Rondell, is the green hike.
Yeah.
And certainly talk about that so the people will understand what it is you're describing there. I mean, it kind of hints at what it is,
Yeah.
but talk about what that is for you guys.
Again, I think in
Yeah. You do your thing, man. Hmm.
yeah. So in 2016, late 2016, we can't just stumble upon the idea of trying to. I think we realized early on that we needed resources and more than just the financial resource, human resource or some huge we needed. So in 2016, we just kind of stumbled upon the idea to do a hike, and we partnered with a hike group, and we looked at it as I say we didn't have the initiative as we have it now, but at that time we looked at it as a way to grow our membership, possibly raise a little bit of funds, and keep the awareness aspect going. If you've been to our hikes, you know, within the snack bag we give away and stuff, we give away our pamphlets, we do different things, we do quiz, we give prizes away based on different aspects about cannabis and that kind of thing. So start off real simply, doing a hike, trying to do that, and then we formulated an initiative called Green Adventures in Nature, which is a acronym GAIN. And we use that initiative to just do different type of events. And to be honest, before we do the hike, we actually was doing like we actually did a movie night before. We did yoga before for 420 in 2016. We did a bake sale by Berg in Port of Spain there. We used to do movie night right by Berg too. And that was crazy, you know. We doing, I say, the organization had a lot of grace following us because we was doing movie nights, Stoners movie nights on Frederick Street opposite Town Hall. Basically, that was what the Berg was. So to do that for like a couple of times, well, That's amazing, Joe. But to get back to the green hike, yeah, that was it basically was, and it just keep expanding, Joe. And we grow on the concept. We see out the potential in the concept where it is. I mean, just in terms of cannabis tourism, you know, hikes we don't go to like the regular, we don't go Maracas and these places. We go to places people are hard to get to, and it's just it's basically people in simplistic terms, it's basically people going in the bush to consume cannabis. Well, we just kind of pay it on structure it.
Right now, part of what we're doing is it's gonna be, it's called 50 Shades of Green,
Yeah.
right? So it's built on the kind of experiences you're talking about. So basically, Trinidad and Tobago, most of the northern range is virgin rainforest. Facts. All right, so you're talking about a 50-year-old primordial rainforest that has hardly been exploited for lumber, has hardly anybody living there. If you look at some of the drone flights, you'll be drone flying for 2 hours and nobody pops up. But what you have are like a lot of these little rivers. So we don't have the Demerara and the Essequibo and the Amazon. We don't have them things. What we have are nice small little cascades. What Guyanese people is called canal. But you know what? Is to get there most of the times about an hour hike tops.
Yeah.
But it's really like exactly like God made it.
Yeah.
No lie.
Trinidad, sweet.
And when you're going there, you really reconnect. I want to pause raise and I'm really talking about it here. You really reconnect with an ancient truth about things, about reality, and you really start to re-energize yourself. You start to question your priorities. You start to look at life a different way. And I've always said it to you guys when we had that meeting that last time, that the commercial potential for something like that experience, a lot of people want that.
For sure.
Reconnect, go in the bush, and get an experience with people that feel the same way about nature, feel the same way about natural life, feel the same way about staying healthy and enjoying life.
See, I watch it as again, I watch it as grace, because I say something we went into real innocently, and to just look at where it is now and just my ideas about it, and yeah, it's crazy. So in terms of tourism and that kind of thing.
Yeah, now that ganja legal,
Yeah.
license on the way,
Decriminalized.
or is on the
Decriminalized.
right, not legal. I use the wrong word.
30 grams.
No,
less.
now that the ganja is on the agenda to be freed up to
Yeah.
right. Now we know when it was illegal, cannabis and you, and any activist of weed, right? They had a very important role to play in this happening now.
Yeah.
So what I want to know is the involvement of cannabis and you. Now that we get 30 grams we could walk around with. What is the next injustice you had to deal with? Or you're gonna dissipate the group and everybody just smoke weed and have fun, or you're gonna continue with your with your awareness campaigns and things like that?
Nah, again, I say the vision for the cannabis and you it grand, it great, you understand, in terms of our ideas about it, you understand, in terms of as an organization. And I say with the change of the law, we could just do more now. You could do hands-on, I say that is why I could go back to me and the other director, or me Javed Bash, me and him sitting down there and thinking about workshops and different types of workshops. It's 2016. So I say with the law as it was, you couldn't do certain things. I mean, you couldn't do a cultivation workshop. You couldn't do a processing workshop. So with the law as it changed now, I think it just gives us opportunity to go in deeper in terms of education, awareness and hands-on. That's why I bring up the you see where the bridge from Trinidad going St. Vincent, because I say it's different when you're hands-on. It's one thing to watch it on YouTube and see how to infuse something or process the thing, but to have hands-on experience, that's different.
I know you're doing your thing long time, and the doors that opening up is not only for smoking. It also have things like commerce, right? It have farming, which is commerce too. Where it have degrees of that, and might have medical research. It might have all these different aspects where the marijuana could be utilized, right? So what I want to ask is, In what ways besides smoking, right? You want to use it as cannabis and you and thing, and what have all you done so far, and what is all you planning to do in the future as far as utilizing the weed? Because they say workshops and thing. You can give me a little details on the usage of the cannabis and how you gonna use it in your workshops in the future.
Well, I as the president of the NGO, I will tell you, I is not really like I'm not a scientist on cannabis. I understand. So, but I'm definitely an advocate for cannabis and for K. The in terms of our workshop again, if you think of somebody who wants to get into making Rick Simpson oil and that kind of thing, I say they might have been watching it on the internet all the time and might have wanted to try it, but to actually do it somebody who is like a professional who went to school and like study this and has a degree in this, and to come and sit down in front of them and have hands-on, be able to touch, smell, all that kind of thing. I think that, and that's just one aspect of our workshop. The workshop aspect. I'm gonna pull this for all of it. The workshop aspect go deeper in terms of not just again cultivation. I mean, a lot of people don't know enough about cultivation. You're getting to grow 4 plants now, but yeah, some people might be growing some bullshit weed because they don't know how to grow it. So it might make sense if a man who want to grow and who don't know how to grow come our workshop. You understand, and deal with that grower who's saying might could show you a plant in a lot of different stages, what to look at, and in that 1 day or 2 day workshop, you come with a clear understanding. You was doing it home and wondering why this thing ain't coming. So when you're talking to a man on Facebook and in your little ganja groups or whatever, but to have the hands on and to have a man sit down next day and tell you, no, this is what you're doing, you have to deal with the plant this way. That's a whole different experience. So that's what we want to get into in terms of the workshop and thing. In terms of no, I mean on a local level, just again in terms of our director. I've worked as the CEO and the president of the NGO, and I've always tried to, as of late, try to push Javed Bash to be the CEO, just in terms of where we want to take the NGO, because his knowledge about the plant, I say, I'm not a scientist on cannabis, but he is. He's very knowledgeable about the plant, and just we want to go back into it, not back again, but forward into education awareness. I would like him to be that in that place, but he's kind of always kind of look at it kind of funny because he has his own registered company in Grass Lab, and he wants to stay with that foundation. Doesn't want any kind of conflict of interest or anything like that. But just in terms of his knowledge about the plant, I would like him to be in that position for the NGO, because I just feel like that is our foundation. That is what gave us. And in terms of what Make It Happen was saying earlier, in terms of the commerce aspect, yeah, the commerce aspect broad, and people knocking the AG family or whatever for the idea of doing it beforehand, but for the last 3 years, that's what I've been telling people to do. People,
A big part of it, like in our conversation, we talked about what I want to do, what my squad want to do, which is basically bring in some foreign investment, do a huge commercial scale plant and extractive industry, develop international brands. Cannabis and You is not trending towards those things. So where do you want to see in terms of the commercial side of the brand? What I understand the knowledge base sharing, I understand where you're coming from with that. If somebody wanted to come in and say, you know what, look some money, look an investor, an angel investor, because this is a big growth industry. What would you want to see to move Cannabis and You to the next level?
again, we have the base, and that's what the work gave us. The last 3 years gave us that. And I'm talking about workshops, but that's just like the smallest aspect of the thing. You understand? Because I say my idea is broad in terms of this thing. So I think in deep. I say with some of the ideas I keep telling Javed Bash that a lot of ideas we have to go back to them, because Trinidad wasn't ready for it at the time. So we've been thinking about conferences and expos, and so the workshop aspect of for K, that's just the tiny part of K. You understand? I want to see the thing grow beyond just workshops and simple things like that. I think in terms of like conferences and expos, in terms of cannabis, Trinidad have to get there, because we haven't done anything like that yet in terms of like an expo and that kind of thing. So who knows who would do it first? I mean, there's a lot of capital involved in this thing, and who knows who would do it. But we're in prime position to do it. We have a base. I mean, we've put in the work, and again, that membership and that base only means for us is, again, it's on us to really figure out what we want to do with that. And yeah, I mean, yeah, the idea is broad. The idea is real broad, Jed. You know, so it's just to hone it in, and I mean, you would need support. A lot of it, maybe no at this point, it may be financial support, but yeah, we have a lot of broad ideas in terms of where to take this thing.
New blues, not old blues. New $100 bills. So one of the aspects of the new legislation. So there are two parts. There's the Dangerous Drug Act amendments, and then there's the cannabis bill, which is basically going to create this cannabis industry.
Yeah.
One of the parts of that is talking about public spaces
Yeah.
and restricting the use of cannabis in public spaces. In my mind, I see that as a direct blow for things like the Green Hike, because in the in the definition of the law, it would be a public space. So, do you think that the advocacy is going to continue into the joint select committee stage of that legislation, because the legislation has to be filtered through the joint select committee, and then it will be all the amendments will then go and form the new bill, which will be, um, if I'm not mistaken, relayed and then um, assented to by and proclaimed by the president.
For cannabis and you know, we welcome decriminalization. Is a good step. You know, but for us, as an organization, legalization is the way forward.
Right.
To go broader. What do you
So
think?
no stopping until it's
I honestly feel I think it should have. I know that we know they wasn't going to do that, but I think they should have. I would like them to do them do that. I mean, that would have been real forward thinking, to open the whole thing, and then reel it back in, observe it, observe how it going, see who doing what, see who doing this, and then say no, cut here off, cut here off, cut here off. But that's not the way
they
they
do
go.
the other way around.
They do the other way around.
They open it slowly. Well, they open it a crack, and then they're gonna see what's going on happen from there. I don't think anybody is gonna revisit this for at least another maybe 2 or 3 legislative terms. So, what we get in probably as early as January, maybe February 2020, is gonna be there for a while. So I think right now is when we have to really continue. So people like Nazma, who was here on the couch the other night, um, Cullen, stay calm, it's a plant. What am I going there? I say you go and jam 2 songs before you go there. Come back now, man, sit down and jam. Yeah, man, jam 2 things. I was not gonna say like one. Nah, we're gonna talk, man. We here for hours. So like, where we reaching now? Or they make it right halfway. Yeah, of course, man. Jump in.
Um, I would love to see in terms of weed and education about marijuana. I would love to see people be educated about the different uses. For example, construction or textile uses. They have thousands of other uses that are very important because they could shake up major industries. For example, paper. If you look at how destructive the paper industry is to the environment, it's tragic. Whereas marijuana is one of the fastest growing plants. And then another thing is like, I am a huge advocate of marijuana. I stopped smoking relatively recently, and I feel like throughout my life I was like struggling to find like the right way to smoke, you know, like when I was younger, I ended up abusing the plant, and I feel like there should be guidance for the youth as to how to use the plant properly. You know, I see away in Canada, you see huge lineups for people smoking constantly, you know, chronically smoking, and there's no guidance, you know. I feel like with this, it's key to bring back our old knowledge to show what you could really do with the plant, you know? That's what I have to add.
Yeah, cool. You sound me, and so we can get
Right,
everybody in
yeah.
here. All right.
We
So,
think about that Ramsey textile and the other industry.
all right,
Well,
so you
no.
wanna sing?
No,
I go sing a little tune.
No, well-
You sing, you know the song. Is that covered? Is that I'll tell us sing by the name of Michigan.
I could jump back in there.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If anything,
Yeah,
you want to say, boy?
Yeah, so you hold on, Mike, there for the guitar.
I need it too close. Is anyway cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, good. All right. So the song is "No Need to Worry." Remember the
You
song,
sing it?
right?
You sing it?
Both of you go sing. As
Oh
in
yeah,
both of
yeah.
you go
You
adult
hold this
sing.
mic and
Yeah.
you're getting up here.
My voice loud. You go ahead, man. You go ahead, man. Two, three. All right.
could you start thinking that you're not the only fool? No need to worry. Just take it slow. No need to worry, 'cause we're already in the flow. Could you realize that you're standing in the greenest field? And could you start thinking that you know what is real? No need to worry. Just take it slow. No need to worry, 'cause we're already in the flow. 'Cause you're already in the flow.
Yeah. Bring it down.
Kind of goes with the conversation.
Yeah, man, I like that one.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
Talk to me about that song. Why does that song make you feel how you make it feel?
All right. Well, off the top of my head, I find that there's a lot of people who will talk about different types of music, and I've heard people talk about reggae music, not to kind of put that under one blanket, but reggae music as possibly music that's the message a little too simple, the message a little too this. It's not the case. A lot of times, the simpler the song, the simpler the less words you use to carry across a message, the better.
Direct.
You know, as a man, sometimes I just try my best to not talk too much. You want to say something, you try to make it nice and succinct. So that song always stood out to me because I remember introducing it to a cousin of mine who when our grandmother had passed, he was taking it hard, and you know, it just so happened that I was listening to that fella's name is Mishka, that's the artist. And I passed the album off, and he to this day will still talk to me about that and tell me that song is still kind of taken back. So that song for me will have a nice little place in my heart, and it's a nice simple message. You know, every time you feel like you're worrying and hair starts to stand up on the back of your head, your shoulders get a little too tense, and then you gotta mellow out, because not only mellowing out. Again, we talked a little bit earlier about misinterpretation of things. Like some people think mellowing out means laying back, doing nothing. It have nothing to do with that. It having to do with keeping this in a nice, peaceful place, so you could use this to then make good decisions and smart movements. So that is why that song for me might be better than other people's opinions of this is the best song. That song for me, strong song. So I'll keep that close.
Yeah, man. So let me take a second here to shout out all the viewers who making comments here. Shark Studios in the house. Audio good. Grass Labs is a registered company that distributes hemp products listed in the company's description. All right, shout out to Grass Labs. Brand Javed Baksh, yeah, man. Respect, salute, man. Brendan S. Boom. Grass Labs, still an offense to consume. Facts.
2022 at least. Hopefully, if they keep the promises.
Yeah. As the next thing, they're not really known for keeping promises. So keep your fingers crossed. Shark say, play. Shark want more. He say next tune. Kevin Jackson say next tune. On fire.
Yeah, well, I don't don't mind.
All right.
We had a check because
Yeah, no,
they're
but-
demanding tunes. We go see. We go
Alright.
go back and forth.
All right.
So-
All right. So
So remember, we teach these men from
I know
from
everything.
the
Never
green
think if
yard.
I have
too.
anything on the top of the head.
all right. All right. You might get your next tune here, but stay tuned. You might get your next tune.
Highway would be a good one. Highway, by the lights I still
We could run the chances are Marley. A nice tune.
Let's go.
They do that. There's a Marley song. There's it's called Chances Are. Yeah.
Run the track.
Chances are we're gonna leave now. Sorry for the victim now. Though all my days are filled with sorrow, I see years of bright tomorrow. Chances are some might not hold out. Chances are hang on right now. Now all my days are filled with sorrow. I see years of bright tomorrow. Chances are we're gonna leave now. Chances are hang on right now. Tears of loneliness are taken teardrops. Chances are hang on right now. Though all my days are filled with sorrow, I see it. A bright tomorrow. Chances are we're gonna leave now. Chances are hang on right now. Yeah.
That's what we said. You know, it never ceases to amaze me when you put Trinis in a room, what's come out.
Yeah, and it's
It's
insane.
really never. Again, some feedback on this mic there. Again, some feedback.
I feel like I was in the presence of greatness.
That was dope.
That's what's going on.
He's a star, man. I'm telling you.
This happening, man. This
this
mic.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, a little too. Yeah. So, hey, fellas, thanks a lot. How to find you on social media?
My Instagram handle is my first dinosaur.
What?
It's a heights.
My first dinosaur.
Yeah.
MY.
MY.
First dinosaur.
FIRSTDINOSAUR.
Well, there you go. My first dinosaur. How to find you, man?
Ojibli.
What?
Ojibli. So AOJIBLI.
All right, so we're going to touch base with those guys here. You know what I mean? Thanks a lot for the music.
This is really good.
Oh, for sure. You know, we're going to be putting you guys on the spot.
No, we are right there. So.
My brother, thank you very much.
Someone take a line. All right, fellas.
All right, thanks for blessing the coach.
Thanks a lot for inviting us, man.
Of course. So that's what's going on. You know what I mean? It's like, it's really like that. So make it a might have listen. I'm gonna hold on, huh? So that's what's happened. You know, we really talk about the disco ball of truth, and that's really what's going on. You know, you're hearing about the brother talked about his early usage of cannabis, and he used the word abuse. You know, so although Dr. Pottinger talked about it, and he said last week that you cannot have a toxic reaction. Right? So you can't overdose on weed. But you do have people who are definitely too reliant on substances. And that is something that especially for youth, that we need to have a new perspective on it. Because although we know Trinidad, we know this place, the fact is there are people who abuse alcohol.
Right.
And that's legal. There are people who use medical pharmacy drugs. They are the people who go and they abuse everything.
Right.
So this is Trinidad. People that smoke oxet. So what we have
ganja is absolutely, if a person have an abusive or have a addictive personality and they're just abusing any kind of substance whatsoever, right? I will say that marijuana is the safest way to go. It will be safer than sugar, safer than fatty foods, safer than salt. You know what I mean? Because people who abuse those other things now end up with serious health problems. People who just abuse marijuana, they just have some real beautiful nights of sleep and a nice good appetite. You know what I mean? So that's just my opinion on that.
Yeah, you know, and I think the legislation seeks to protect youth in a way that maybe they should start to think about protecting youth from alcohol in that same way.
Yeah, definitely.
It's the same thing. I mean, I was about to say that too. You know, you think about alcohol. You know, I mean, youth to still get their hands on it, so it will come out to parenting in a certain sense. But just going back to what the brother was saying too, in terms of abuse and all that kind of thing. I mean, if you think of the name of the NGO, it comes down to that for you. It's cannabis and you, because even some people not really supposed to smoke weed at all. Or
Sure.
No, I shouldn't say
Me, my brother.
I shouldn't say that. I should say that some people, there's over 100 and some different compounds in cannabinoids, different cannabinoids. Some cannabinoids may not be for you in high dosage, mainly THC. You understand? And that's the thing. If the easiest way to get cannabinoids is getting weed off the street. So if somebody predisposed to mental health disorder, they have it in the family, and they smoke cannabis, high amount, not smoke cannabis, but smokes high amount of THC. Maybe that's enough for them. That doesn't mean they don't need cannabis, or maybe they can't smoke it. Maybe they need to be smoking high amounts of CBD, and maybe a low amount of THC. So it's really cannabis and use, particular to your makeup and your predisposition and all that kind of thing. So,
And you know, the new legal paradigm allows for the further development of that exploration of the chemicals and what they do. Because like Dr. Pottinger said, you know, so much of it has been underground. So much of it has been anecdotal and not clinical study. And so you're going to reach that point where people will be able to say, okay, you want to get this particular type of experience, you can use this particular type of cannabis. So there are people, and this is something that I have learned from observing youth on all different levels. There are people who have underlying psychological predispositions. Chick be crazy. You see somebody and you're like, nah, but that chick is crazy. What specific type of crazy? You might not have the time and experience with crazy chicks like me, but chicks, there are women out there who just crazy. Unspecified
that kind of sexist
species of crazy. No, hold on.
Are they saying the difference? You have to be a little bit crazy out here anyway.
No, hold on. But the same way, you have brothers. And you be like,
watch it.
he's a real man, you know?
Watch it. You're walking out in line there. That kind of sexist.
It's not just about you have paranoid schizophrenia or you have multiple personality disorder. There are people who have underlying psychological issues that
Trauma.
trauma. And you know what I mean? We have this year we've already crossed 500 murders. Yeah.
I was looking at the murder rate in Chicago to the murder rate in Trinidad. Surprisingly, Chicago is like the highest murders in America, and then you see in Trinidad is like above them.
Right there,
It's
man.
crazy, yo.
And what is happening is
They're behind us right now.
those are people
Yeah.
like this morning. This
Mm.
morning, Shadon Winchester, Trinidad and Tobago footballer, he ended up dying in a car accident. His dad died in a car accident.
Hey, rest in peace.
So, you know, you gotta understand that this is trauma that follows you. And we are very notoriously bad with mental health issues. We're bad with regular health issues. So that nice domestic. I'm bringing up. Check and see what's going on there.
Yeah. All right, just keep that mic plugged into the bottom part there.
It gotta be on that side.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Good day. Don't move around the cable too much, I think.
Right? So what is happening is, and it's not just about gender-based crazy, yeah? Anybody could be crazy. But what tends to happen is that we don't address it. Right? So when you add another layer of a psychotic substance, you're looking to throw fuel on a fire.
Again, I don't know if a psychotic is the word. I mean, I don't know if it's a psychotic substance. I mean, again, somebody with the deeper science. I don't think I would call a psychotic substance, but yeah, I say if you have a predisposition to something,
Right.
I say maybe, and I say the quickest access that person may have is marijuana off the street.
Easy.
So yeah, again, not in everywhere. So, and that may not be for them. And the way they're going, again, I smoking every day, and I would tell you, smoking is not the best way to consume. One of the best ways I ever consume is food. Food is one of the best ways to consume if you really want to have some cannabis oil around your house, and every time you're cooking something, you pull out that cannabis oil instead of regular oil. Trust me, you know, it can help you a lot. You know, so and besides you might be looking at it from a medicinal point of view, but it's like I forget the term is it's like preventative medicine.
Indeed, right.
In a certain sense, because the cannabinoids is still going into your system, and it's gonna go in the endocannabinoid system. We're dealing with balance and homeostasis and that kind of thing. So you're still promoting homeostasis within your body. You're putting cannabinoids in. Smoking it is not the best way because you're putting toxins in your body, but you're putting cannabinoids in your body, Jared. So it's still a way access. But for that person who has schizophrenia or some other mental health disorder.
All right. I hear that my mic short, and so I'm just gonna pop out quickly. You guys talk now. Let me just change this mic cable.
All right. Let me ask you a question there, Rondell. Because you know that so there are plenty cannabis and you events I get invited to, right? And anybody who know me know that you don't see me anywhere. You understand? When you see me, it's like you're seeing the dead come back to life. Because where does be inside? Right? Why? Why make it happen? Does be inside? Because I just smoke the marijuana, and it just make me stay inside because I be studying what is my next move, what I need to say, what I need to do, what I need to talk about. You know what I mean? And the pre-ganja me was a whole different person because I know he's saying it like he was not talking about crazy people and thing, and they said that brother they real mad boy. That was me. You know what I mean? I was that guy, so I know what it's all about. And what I can't say is that the weed was beneficial to me in my hyperactivity and all of that. You know what I mean? It bring me up to this point. Right? Well, what I want to ask you now is from your experience and people reaction to weed and thing. You ever had any...
Let me know how this one better, if this one better. Hit me up in the comments there.
Yeah. You only ever had any incidences of people over smoking, capping out, or people smoking and acting differently and all of that? And how you deal with that situation when it arises?
Again, thankfully for us, you know, all the things we've done, all the activities we've done over the last years, we never had any kind of incidents like that. And yeah, we had minor incidents. I remember we had our dinner, for our first dinner, my mother was there. First time she tried cannabis. And she tried any food, but she didn't eat all day. She didn't eat all day properly, and she tried cannabis and tried cannabis food, but she didn't get hit. She vomit. But we did have CBD there, but she didn't even have no CBD. She just wanted to go home and rest because she, again, who knows how it would affect her if she had something to eat on her stomach. I mean, for a first time user in probably in her 50s, it was probably too much for her that first year around. But so I say, but going back to what you're saying in terms of cannabis calming you down and that kind of thing, I think I don't see ganja as this like kumbaya hippie thing. I see it as this thing. I think because people will smoke weed and do malice. You understand? People smoking weed and doing malice. You understand? So it's a combination of things with cannabis. You understand? It's not just with the smoke, for real. You understand? No, but people, there's idea about cannabis, especially yeah, it's like
You understand? By the time you finish pull that, the whole mentality might change. You know what I mean?
it might, but it may not. Because it depending on how bad you want this man. You understand? The way things is right now. You understand? So I think it's a combination of things in terms of getting your mental in a certain place. It's not just smoking cannabis. And I say smoking is not the best way. You understand? But if you're talking about like a holistic kind of thing and you're consuming cannabis, I think it's more than just like consuming is what are things you're eating, how you're thinking, how you're moving, where you're exposed to, where's the environment. It's not just cannabis alone. If you're thinking of it just vibrational thing to raise you up, yeah, you can't be. I think it go deeper than just consuming the cannabinoids. Yeah, that promoting homeostasis in your body, but you have to do other things to get sunlight, drink water, eat right, do all these other things. So it's a combination of things with the plant. It's a combination. I say, I don't see it as this magical thing. I say, yeah, you have to do other things combined with cannabis. It's a good help because within the body, even if you're smoking it, you're promoting homeostasis, which is balance. Your body promoting that. You're putting toxins in your body by smoking, but you're promoting homeostasis. So just consuming it, even just eating the raw bud. There's a herb too, and that's one people shocked to know that. You grow the raw, people growing the 4 plants now. You don't have to let it dry and all that. You can just get the fresh herb, cut it up, put it in your salad. You're putting thick cannabinoids in your body.
I've done that.
You're putting cannabinoids in your body. Yeah, in some ways, a different aspect. I think that's THCA. That's before the acid remove and become THC. Yeah. There's a piece of information out there too. It's kind of cannabinoids. The special to cannabis, but you could find it in nature in different plants, but in small amount. Cannabis have 100 and some different types in one plant. If I say my bunk stop in our next plant, it might just be one cannabinoid, maybe a small amount, but this plant that's what make it the special plant. But
what these cannabinoid receptors in our body? Because they say we have these in our body, meaning that it didn't happen overnight. Meaning that we could probably go back 1,000,000 years to see where these things originate. Right? But the receptors here. So what these receptors for? Because it have people that don't smoke. So what they really missing out on?
The receptors, I say, I don't want to misspeak. Somebody who's not claiming to be academic.
You're not a scientist.
Academic on it. But I would say the endocannabinoid system in your body that dealing with homeostasis, but it dealing with the nervous system and controlling a lot of different key aspects. Sleep, your appetite, and your memory. You understand? And if you think of people dealing with PTSD, you understand? Anandamide, that is a chemical that is secreted in the brain. Sands. I don't know how far the sands reach on it now, but it's very similar to certain cannabinoids. But the brain is naturally secrete that. And what that is do, what I know about it from what I know so far, so I read about it and thing, is it's help your brain forget. And the explanation I read about it is that it's like your brain is a computer, and some information your brain don't need. Some information you just don't need. Your brain, as your eyes see things, and your brain picking it up. So no, here I'm saying it's like that for real. You're paying the trash, so I'm saying you might be able to pull on it again because your brain store it. You have somebody, and then that chemical that's secreting, helping you forget. So cannabinoids work like that in a certain sense. People do with PTSD. They use certain cannabinoids, help them forget the trauma. And forget the trauma, help you kind of deal with the trauma or pay it in the cycle bin. You understand?
Cannabis has helped me remember the last time I smoked cannabis.
Let's check out some of these comments here. Shark Studio. All right, the audio is good. Right. All right. Thanks a lot. So, fellas, where we reach on this live? How long we been? We just touched a little past the hour. So, once again, we want to just explain what the project is about. We're expanding. Make It has a space. He has a heart of openness where we are creatives. We are people. We are trying to create platforms where we can talk, where we can share, where we can invite other people who want to talk and who want to share and who are also creative. So we're talking about music, we're talking about film, we're talking about arts. You know, I mean, I paint, I draw. I'm an artist. I'm a creative artist. My day job right now is designing and laying out. So I had a t-shirt line. I still have a t-shirt line. You know what I mean? So in terms of visual arts, communication arts, we're all about all of those things. But we had to start. You know what I mean? A lot of times people talk, but just the same way you and Javed talked, but then you took it to the next level to create Cannabis and You. This is where we at with this. So
Consistency is key.
we have started. We know what we need to do. We need to get stronger audio, more consistent audio. We need a better camera. All of these things we're moving to there. So as you join us and you spread the word and more people join us, I think there's the biggest live audience we've had, and we really respect that. But going somewhere, and we started. This is the seventh show. We're going forward. We're not moving backwards. We're learning. We're a learning organization. So Make It, Rondell. I want to invite your last comments before we wrap tonight's show up. For me, I'm excited. I'm excited where the possibilities lie for cannabis in Trinidad and Tobago, for the agri sector, for youth unemployment, for old people like me, pain relief. I have so many things that I'm excited about. But talk to me. Give me some ideas of what you want to close tonight off with.
I think one of the major things is the cultivation aspect of cannabis. I think, I have a whole different idea in terms of the cultivation thing. I think in terms of the world sense, they're gonna plant a lot of weed. They plant a lot of weed. And it's like, for me, I was telling somebody recently, he's like, yeah, I go in the grocery and look at the cornflakes. There's much cornflakes. And they say we go eat all the cornflakes. They say we go process it, we go smoke it. But I was reading an article recently and I was talking about it. And men tell me the same thing. They say you use it, but this is next year. In a couple months, 20 largest growers in North America, they go and push out 1 million kilos. There's just two of the largest growers. Now more laws go and change. More people go and plant the 4 plants. People go and plant. Like, the thing going to get saturated. They see it happening already. If you check out somewhere like Canada, what's going on? No, I talking to somebody and it's like nobody buying from the government. The government trying to tax the thing, trying to grow anything too much. It's legalization, but it's not legalization. Thing, the black market's still going on. But for the cultivation, people on a local level, I would say, and then my best advice to all the people looking at to grow in a commercial way in Trinidad, I would say you have to get into a niche. You have to find a niche as a grower. You have to develop. You have to be a strain developer. Because I think if you're looking at it in terms of the big boys, they are coming. I don't see how you're stopping them. Because I see people think like cannabis is going to change capitalism. It's not. So people with money still go and get involved with the thing, and the thing going to shake down. Even with the world, since I'm talking about it, didn't shake down yet. Because more people changing the laws, so you can export to certain things, so you can't really see the broadness of the industry. But for me personally, I think the world going to grow so much within the next 5 years. They're going to be crazy. So I don't really see how the market go and look unless it's niche, especially for men on the local level. You have to have your staple, whatever, kush, that's unique to Trinidad, that somebody from Europe would come here and deal with. Because if you're thinking about the big boys and trying to go up against the whoever coming to grow, it ain't going to be easy. You understand? So I think it's going to be fair. You understand? I say cannabis not going to change capitalism. It's going to still be like that. I say people like myself and thing who looking at who I say I started off with a t-shirt line. So I was kind of I jumped into the advocacy kind of thing. So on my own foundation, looking at the thing, I think you really have to know what you're doing in terms of business and because the average Joe don't have the business acumen and all these kind of things besides the finance. You understand? So yeah, I would say the people on a who looking at the thing like from a cultivation aspect, yeah, look into a niche, you know, and find your space because yeah, it's looking like it's gonna be fair and it's not gonna be a kumbaya thing, cannabis, the industry. It's gonna be and like I was saying, people mad at the attorney general farming and thing for doing anything, but I've been telling people that for 3 years. And I wasn't telling so many people names, they didn't have cannabis in the name. You could have register your business as if you're doing like baking goods or whatever, but still be technical in your description and that kind of thing. You're selling pastries. You have a sign, you use herbs over 50. You don't have to name cannabis as one of them at the time. But you can still document people. I've been telling like different people that. So you could get involved in things and build your clientele. So now that it happen, you don't have to fight for space. So some people did, some people didn't. So yeah, that's what I can leave out with. Cannabis and you look us up Instagram, Facebook, link up.
Yeah, man, well said, man. And drawing on what the Peter said earlier when he mentioned about the industrial side of it, right? And just the plant in general, that have so much potential, unlimited. The amount of things it have already that people already do in the past, right, is up in the thousands. I mean, things like paint and all kind of thing was made out of this. You know what I mean? So where we could go with it, they have to take off all the restraint, all the little extra laws and the little guidelines and all these extra things here, and they have to let the ganja flow free because it's such a is a plant that rapidly mutated. Almost every few generations, it's turning into something else. You know what I mean? It's getting exposed. It have genes. The things what we smoking now have so much different genes in it from so much different strains that anything could happen with these things here, and we just have to let it go and see where it reach. Right. Next thing I want to say is I just want to speak on my suspicion, right, of the cannabis laws, right, being have an ulterior motive, maybe to bring in big industry, or maybe to create a new industry. For instance, cannabis farms and hire 2,000-3,000 Trinidadians to grow some top quality ganja. You understand me? But unless they open for entrepreneurs like myself, people who could come in free enterprise and do it the democratic way. It's always claim democracy, you know what I mean? Let we vote on it. Let me bring it up. But all the people who view it now, I just want all you to be conscious of this, conscious that this legislation is not always cracked up to be, or that we seeing on the surface. Even though we're grateful for the little inch, to give us an inch and take back a mile. You understand, man? Don't turn the 6 upside down and give us a 9. But let we be open above board. Let we talk about this thing full transparency, and always remember the people who suffer for years, the people who've been in the jails, the family that was broken apart, the people who come out of jail messed up, the people who went in innocent and come out as criminals, all the effects that this fight against ganja has had on the population of Trinidad and Tobago. The people who suffer have to be taken into consideration, and some form of reparation had to be made. You know what I mean? Right is right. So these are the things that we have to bring up, and some people need counseling, some people need reparations, and they lost their house, they lost their car, they lost their job. You understand? Maybe for this hope, right? So it's a serious thing. Like, we just don't go and celebrate this legislation, but like, we look into it analytically and see where inside it have the holes that we need to fill up, right? So that's my closing words. You know what I mean? And good night to all the watchers. And Taye.
All right, so
That was real
weekend,
well
next
said.
weekend, I'm in Tobago. Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to say, that was well said too. You know, son, that was well said. You know, son, we gotta look at it, and it's not really fair, but just touch quickly on different things with the brother I was talking about. Peter, you was talking about the different aspects of that. Is hemp. You understand? And in terms of again cultivation, you know, it had like the virgin from Jamaica that come here, the doctor from Jamaica that come here. I was talking about that. And even like Lorenzo, who was the first person to make a hemp brick in Trinidad, which is history. You understand? Lorenzo Stewart, a hemp industry. You understand? You need a lot of land.
Lorenzo, you promising to come on the show long time. All right.
You need a lot of land to grow hemp. You understand? I say I start off with t-shirt vibes, and I say even if I go in that way, I probably would have to import still because a hemp industry alongside a cannabis industry in Trinidad it's bigger, but it's small in a certain sense. Hemp you need land.
Guyana is
You
right there, you
understand? If
know,
you're
very
thinking different
close.
aspects of the textiles and
People just decide to grow hemp alone. And let me say we have some form of drought or something. All right, we have a food shortage. You can eat the hemp nutritious.
you're right.
The hemp have milk, the hemp have oil, the hemp making cereal.
People want to smoke.
Flour, right? People want to smoke.
Look it up.
We'll make the place so solid, it will stabilize the economy.
All right. So I was just saying, so next week I'm in Tobago, so we don't have a show next week, my brother. All right. So we will be back the week after Yama Carnival, Christmas. So into New Year's, we will try to be on the Tuesday night because we wouldn't be able to do the Thursday night show. And then from there, we're looking at Thursday night regularly, 8:30 as the regular show time. So, Tay, on behalf of all the guests that were here tonight, thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for sharing. And if you like it, subscribe, talk about it. Say, hey, you know, checking out this scene, boy. Check this out. And really and truly, I mean, the vibes, there's nothing to be ashamed about. This is all us. This is all what we're talking about. And it's for us. It's for us so that you guys can understand what's going on. So we're talking about cannabis now, but we will be spreading the word out, talking about a lot of other things. So, all right, it's your boy Tate. Thank you very much. But we gone. Could I get them guitar man to stay a little bit? I don't know. Yeah. Where your guitar? Come on, play some damn thing.
Over there.
Yeah. All right. So this that mic cable shortened too.
No, but this one's fine. What's up? Yeah, good. Is that cable for sure?
I'll buy 2 mics. I try to save a buck or two, you know, by buying cheap cable, but it's cheap for a reason.
Yeah. Hey, it's on. Pick it up.
What's that?